Greetings, Mega Man fans, and welcome back to the Mega Man Rock Force LPA. I don't have a lot of time here, so let's jump straight to Deathman, the ultimate in Fusion Robot Master technology. That sounded better in my head. And here we are in his lifeless little graveyard. No enemies to speak of here, it's just you, Deathman, and a whole lot of spikes. Notably, the stage music here is actually a remix of Cryptman's theme again. Given how far along we are in the game, it's kind of nice that we get to hear the main theme again. So, yeah, plenty of spikes in this stage, which that can be bad if you aren't prepared with shock guards like I am. I have like 5 of them or so I should be fine if I accidentally screw up and get spiked. Another thing that won't cost too much in the recording is letting Nightman blow up this wall. I could just destroy it with Phantom Fuse, but I'm too nice. He looks so depressed when you do that, and I can't do that to him. And these rolling spike logs make me feel like I'm playing a Sonic game. Those crushers there, don't touch them. Their entire thing is basically one big spike. Now, as you notice, Nightman, the previous stages before this one, those last 4, had a conspicuous absence of Rock Force members. The new Fusion Masters were added to the game once the Rock Force members became playable. As such, it wasn't necessary to include them in order to give them a purpose beyond just being dudes in distress. I can appreciate that, but the inconsistency bothers me. Like, seriously, either have them in there, or don't. Personally, I lean towards not having them, as Elecman is really the only one who outright adds anything to the level he's in. The Local Skull introduction suffers if he isn't present. Anyway, the level itself. I kinda skipped past the logs and crusher segments, which required a lot of precision and speed. This section, meanwhile, with its moving spiked walls that bounce off of surfaces, and its hidden spikes, require you to wait in order to know when it's safe to go and when it really isn't. Knowing that is ideal for surviving here. Because otherwise, well, expect to get skewered, and painfully. Fortunately, it's not too difficult once you've been through it once or twice. You just have to have been through it a few times in order to actually learn it. That being said, it can still take its sweet time. But I'm safe to leave the room now, so I can keep going. Now, here are these spiked walls, not unlike what Terror Man stage threw at us. Except instead of shooting spikes at us, they will actually crush us. So, don't stop, just keep running. And finally, we have this ring platform. When the rings pass over these energy rings, spikes emerge. Obviously with one single intention, skewering you. So, you need to know where the energy rings are gonna hit, and move accordingly. You never actually have to stand on the back one, you can literally just alternate between the front and the middle, and that entire section goes by fairly easily. And that was Deathman stage in its entirety. Can be done rather quickly if you try, no? Anyway, entire stage, nothing but instant death to threaten you. In order for me to really, truly describe what I think about this stage, I need to go over what I think about instant death. Buckle up, folks. Rant incoming. And for those of you who don't want to hear it, I will have an annotation so that you can skip straight to the boss fight. But for those of you who do want to hear it, rant, go. So, you'll see this up here at the top left, right? That's 28 hit points that we get to use in a game where most enemies only really do 1 to 4 points of damage. Maybe 5 or 6 if they're a particularly strong one. That health bar serves as a buffer for mistakes. It makes it so screwing up is only a minor penalty, a mere slap on the wrist as opposed to a forced redo of entire sections of stage. And in fact, with the presence of Mercy invincibility, the health bar becomes a viable tactic on its own. Instead of dispatching an enemy or going around it, you can literally just go through it, sacrificing some of your health in order to bypass what could otherwise be a difficult challenge. Instant death takes away those options, removing some of the depth, and that's with a D, not an A, removes some of the depth from the game. There's really only one option for solving a challenge of instant death. You don't touch it, genius. Only one solution defeats the entire point of Mega Man. We can all see it. We have weapons. We have options here. The entire point of Mega Man is that there's options. That there's multiple solutions to problems. That's what the weapons are for. So, if you remove depth, if you remove those choices, you are basically defeating the point of the game. Now, don't get me wrong. Instant death has its place. Like, the games are here to entertain us, not to babysit us. If you make a completely catastrophic derp, that is on your head. And a little bit of punishment isn't truly unfair. An abuse of instant death, though, that removes depth from the game, it defeats the very point of Mega Man Classic itself, and it is easy! Instant death requires no real thought on how to get past it. You don't really have to know how to get through it, it's instinctive, you just have to do it. And it really requires no thought on the designer to implement it. It's cheap. It's the easy way out. Any interesting challenges in Mega Man that have had instant death as part of it has always had some kind of extra element to it, besides the instant death, that made it interesting. Instant death abuse is not a true challenge. It isn't real difficulty. It's really more of a punishment than anything. That's really what you're doing at that point. You are punishing your player for playing your free game. At that point, why do they have to play it? They can just play another game. It's counterintuitive. It defeats the point in pretty much every way, shape, or form. You don't want to punish your player for playing your game, do you? Deep breaths. That being said, Deathman Stage is actually a personal favorite of mine. I'm not kidding. I actually like this stage. And allow me to explain why. First, there's variety in this stage. The very same variety that weakened Charade Man's level quality increases the strength that Deathman's level actually possesses. There is thought put into the challenges that Deathman's level expects you to solve, unlike most abuses of instant death. There's no RNG to the stage. You can learn it. Every challenge is the same virtually every time. You do the stage once, you can do it again. You can learn it. Nothing in here is really, truly over-the-top cheap. The level is actually fairly short, and assuming you remember to turn it on, the checkpoint placement, with 4 checkpoints and then some, is relatively sane. So as a result, screwing up and dying doesn't throw you back very far. Additionally, infinite lives help prevent game overs. which a game over in an instant death abuse stage is inherently more punishing. There's shock guards, which makes it so spikes take away half of the damage they do as opposed to all of it. This, if you buy up shock guards, you get choice again. The spikes aren't instant death anymore, and now they take away from your health bar. This not only allows you to make mistakes again, you can even tank certain parts of the stage safely. There's depth again. Additionally, there is Charade Clone, your explosive, expendable clone minion that allows you to go through challenges without the fear of death. Additionally, Charade Clone is the weakness of Deathman. So as a result, do you use it in the stage to safely progress through challenges? Or do you save it and use it to defeat Deathman? There's depth! There's a choice to this level. And you can even just turn off the instant death spikes in the options. So, really, this level doesn't have to be instant death at all. I won't lie, this isn't the greatest stage in Rock Force, definitely not. It's a stage built around instant death that's humanly impossible. However, it works around all of the flaws inherent in instant death abuse in Mega Man. It actually manages to work as best as it can. And I appreciate that. I like that. Anyway, enough about the stage. Let's fight Deathman himself. Don't worry, he can't instantly kill you. But his scythe, which can reflect your shots, hurts. Notably, this theme playing right now is the 5th boss theme that Kevin created. It's a very nicely epic theme, and I like it. And I saw that coming. Deathman has 3 attacks. He can throw his scythe and have it bounce vertically like that. He can throw his scythe and have it ricochet diagonally around the room. And if he jumps to one side, he can throw his scythe down into the middle and have it behave like a vortex. As a result, the vortex has more of a telegraph than the other 2 attacks, because of where he jumps to when he uses it. He's not the hardest boss in the world, but that scythe hurts, which makes him a very nice challenge. Anyway, I'm already running out of time, so I'm just going to skip through the plot reveal. The important thing is, Justice Man is now a well-intentioned extremist who intends to free robot kind from humanity. Maybe in another video, perhaps in a second part, I'll show this dialogue, along with all the dialogue for the other Rock Force members. Right now, though, much as I hate to say it, I don't have the time to dedicate to Justice Man's grand reveal. That being said, though, there is still this quick little cutscene, which I will also skip through, because time I don't have. But the important thing is, we have our big bad at long last. And additionally, we have our fortress stage. So, on that note, thank you all very much for watching, and thanks to all of you who listened to my big, huge rant. Expect me to call back to that in other games. And in the next episode, we'll be taking on the first stage of Justice Man's Fortress. Until then, thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I shall see you again for the next one. Until then, goodbye!